Hi everyone and welcome to a new episode of Day's Podcast along with a new video. I want to thank you guys so much for liking, subscribing, viewing, watching, and listening. I truly appreciate it. We will be doing exclusive episodes, I should say. I wanted to say exclusives, but of course, no. There are episodes and videos alike, and they all get posted and shown simultaneously. So I need to not say exclusives as if it's just one big thing. It's multiple things. So yes, I want to make sure that I give you guys all of what needs to be given as we continue to go on this never-ending journey of information and things to know. Okay, so again, thank you. I wanted to continue with free content, and we are going to talk about My Heart, which is the debut studio album by Donell Jones. It was released by LaFace Records and Arista Records on June 4th, 1996 in the United States after the dissolution of his group Porsche. Jones turned to songwriting and production, writing songs for R&B group Jade for their 1994 second album Mind, Body, and Song, as well as co-writing for Usher's self-titled debut album in the same year. Okay, so Donell been around for over 30 years, and we will talk about Usher a bit too over time. And if you haven't checked it out, I did talk about Jade's debut album, and I will talk about Mind, Body, and Song as well too. Yes, he signed a recording contract as a solo performer with LaFace under Untouchables Entertainment, a production company and record label founded by Heavy D and the Boys member Eddie F. Farrell. Most of the album was produced by Jones with additional help from Farrell's Untouchables Entertainment production team. The album featured 3 singles, including In the Hood, Knocks Me Off My Feet, and You Should Know. Okay, so the album is over an hour long, and next year it'll be 30. And if you guys haven't already, I already talked about Donell Jones as far as where I want to be and his albums up until Journey of a Gemini. Yeah. So if you guys want to check out those albums and episodes alike, they are there. And if anything, they should be after this, right? So it could be in order. But yes, in a retrospective review, AllMusic had said not only does Jones write the songs and sing them on his debut album, he also produces the album and programs both the drums and keyboards. Now that's important. Thus, comparisons to Wonder, Stevie Wonder, are somewhat inevitable, especially because Jones sings with a similarly soothing tone of voice. His later albums show him growing as an artist, but here you see Jones first blossoming. And that, yeah, the way that, you kind of see a lot of people kind of come out. This was different because, a lot of times record labels or even just people themselves don't always feel as confident to kind of just do things all them. Prince said, fuck it, I'm doing the instrumentation, the writing. There's people out there that there's only so many that you can say do it all. I mean, down to the beat, like to the first beat, matching different synthesizers, all that. There's only so many people that do that. A lot of times you will have people that, may need assistance. It's not bad to have assistance. Our favorite artists get assistance on certain things, but there's only that rare artist that really comes out and all you see is them. It's not whether they had anything more to put on. All you see is them. Everything they did is themselves. The beat, the aesthetic, everything. They don't need no help from no fucking body. They came out just as themselves. All they had is a guitar, or all they had was just a keyboard, just themselves. And you just don't see that no more. Everything is use and take and give and take and give and take. Everything is always just a grab and not. No. What about excluding? What about just the ambience of it all? This is why people always reference Michael so much. in a lot of ways, because he literally was the one that made it, in the sense of, you know, really producing and really making music the way that, you know, we see him for who he is. And I gotta say, you know, that plays a big part when it comes to artistry, and you guys have seen it in plenty of videos. We are past 200 now, so you know I don't got time to play games. You've seen it in plenty of videos where I have explained, yeah, like if you're doing it yourself, it's more rewarding. When you have other people coming out to do this for you or doing other things for other people, you're losing sight of everything that you kind of wanted to craft to kind of make you, because everything got to be attached to everybody. Everything in the end has to reflect on everything, and it's just like, well, you know. So I will be living proof, if I have to say I've had a few rebrands, you know, but this right here, this day podcast right here, there wasn't much to rebrand. I came out. I said, hey, I'm talking. I want people to know who I am, and I want people to know that this is a safe space that I've always wanted to create and to be able to talk about many things. So, going back to the first 30 seconds, thank you guys so much for listening. But besides the point, yes, Donell Jones has come a long way. Track 1 is In the Hood, Players version. Track 2 is Knocks Me Off My Feet. Track 3, No Interruptions. Track 4, Waiting on You. Track 5, I Want You to Know. Track 6, My Heart. Track 7, Yearning. Track 8, Wish You Were Here. Track 9, All About You. Track 10, You Should Know. Track 11, Natural Thing. Track 12, Believe in Me. Track 13, In the Hood Remix. Track 14, Don't Cry. And track 15, The Only One You Need. There were a few samples. And, you know, it's just good that he was able to really come out at a time like this. There was so many artists that were coming out in 96, never mind 97. And I've said that in a few videos. So, you know, as long as you're coming out, that's good. Very good. I noticed that they didn't really tell me where he charted. But we will find it right now, okay? So he charted on US Billboard 200 at 180, okay? And US Top R&B Hip Hop Albums at 30. So I've said this. If you're in the top 40, you're being seen. Like, people know who you are, what's going on. Donell Jones was more or less instrumental in this debut, as opposed to his second album where Where I Want to Be, you just knew who he was. It was like, oh my God, who's this? And that was within 2-3 years time of this album. So it's like, as far as with the year ending chart, he was still on the US Top R&B Hip Hop Albums at 99 by the end of 96. So even though he wasn't on Billboard, you know, within a few weeks time, because like I said, 96 was a busy time. Everyone was releasing. There was still him charting in the US Top R&B Hip Hop Albums by the end of the year, which helped because, you know, when he did come back and he had, you know, Where I Want to Be, and then there's the I'll Go song, which was on Love and Basketball. You know, listen, I'm from that time. I am. But I thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and I'll be back with more.